like before we sell.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
All right. Hey, everyone, and welcome to Chef AJ Live. I'm your host, Chef AJ, and this is where I introduce you to amazing people like you who are doing great things in the world that I think you should know about. My guest today is Lissa. She has a regular slot on my show with her husband, Nate. It is called
Feeling Great with Lissa and Nate.
You think I'd remember, but I got 28 shows to keep track of. She is on the second Tuesday of the month. So why is she on the first Tuesday? Well, we want to announce here first a really great opportunity you have to study with both of us. We are co-teaching a series of interactive cooking classes that we call Make It Raw or Make It Cooked. And we're going to have all the information in both the chat and the show notes, but we're here to answer a bunch of questions that we've been receiving on our social media pages when we've been posting recipe photos from the class and to our mailing list. So we thought we could just answer them here and actually do a screen share and show you the beautiful website that Lissa built. And I'll just tell you real briefly that it's not that I invented it. My name is not even right on my Zoom. That's terrible. That's my husband's name, but that's okay. The interactive cooking class, this was not invented by me, but I think I'm one of the few people that I know of are only people that really do this in the plant-based space. I know a lot of people teach wonderful cooking classes, and I think it's great to watch people cook. But I do believe if you want to, my second grade teacher, Mrs. Kerr, used to say, if you want to be a great writer, write. Well, if you want to be a great chef, you got to cook. You got to just stop watching so much and start doing. And, with the pandemic, many culinary schools closed, so that hands-on experience was not available to a lot of people. I'm privileged that I can work in places like Rancho La Puerta and still teach hands-on cooking. And so the interactive experience is the next best thing. When the pandemic started, I was approached by General Electric, who used to have a company called Chibo, and Ann Esselstyn and Jane Esselstyn and the Korean Vegan, they had shows on this platform, and I had one as well. And the idea is to make it interactive, that people would be in the kitchen with us cooking in real time. And it was a fabulous experience. The limit was 100 on this technology, and my classes sold out every month, and people love them. But it was a little bit difficult from my point of view, because number one, I'm pretty fast. I've been teaching cooking for over 20 years and cooking really for like 50 years. And so people couldn't keep up with me, but also it was interactive in that they could ring this little bell. And so I'll be doing something and they can ring a bell and then I go, yes, can I help you? And it really didn't flow well. And I thought to myself after Chibo closed and I wasn't doing cooking classes, that people had a real need for these type of classes where they didn't just watch me cook or watch an expert cook, or in Lissa's case, uncook, but that they got to prepare the recipes that I could watch them. Because what would happen with Chibo, since it was audio only, they would say, well, why does it look like this? And I'm like, I don't know. I can't see it. And so what we started to do is these interactive classes. And so far they've all sold out and people have been having a wonderful experience because they are very small classes. They have to be, because we have to be able to watch a bunch of people on Zoom, and people have been loving them. I did a 12-week one last year based on all my desserts that was called Sweet Indulgence. And people loved it. It was a pastry class. It was like a master class. But at the end of the class, people said, 12 weeks is just a bit too long and we want full meals. And so I thought, okay, I'll do one. But then when I met Lissa and became friends with her, I said, what if we did it together? Because people want more raw food. And Lissa was telling me about a lot of the people that are in her community. They're the only raw one in their family. And they still sometimes have to make cooked food for their family. So what we're basically doing in tandem is going to show you these recipes. They're all down below in the show notes. And then she is so creative. And basically, I just said, this is what I'm making. And she's like, no problem. And she made everything 100% raw. So I talked a lot. So Lissa, come and tell us a little bit about this endeavor that we're doing.
Thanks, Chef AJ. I am so excited to be cooking and preparing food with you. This is going to be so awesome. And I'm excited to see who joins and who we get to work with. I love that when you gave me the recipes, I was like, yeah, I could totally make those raw. So on the first week, I'm really excited to share my Italian meatballs with a marinara sauce, my brand new cruciferous veggie salad, my walnut pesto stuffed mushrooms, and I get to make your ramen cake. We're making little cakelets. And that recipe is like mind-blowing. It is so delicious. And I'm really excited to make that one. And then we're going to do also my enchanted enchiladas, which was a really cool recipe to create. And also the Spanish rice and a coconut berry parfait. So I'm really excited to work with you and teach the people and spend some Saturdays together interactively. Like you said, it's so good to have community, especially when other people in the family aren't eating the same way. It's nice to be able to have other people that you can connect with, and people become friends also, right? In the chat, they're like talking to other people and they meet each other. It's a really great place and it's such a great idea. And I'm honored that you asked me to join with you for this one.
Yeah, I think it's going to be epic. I really do. And it's going to be delicious. I love doing these classes because for me, it's just like making dinner, you know?
Yep, exactly. I know we're going to make the food and then just eat it after. It's gonna be
I know that like with my people, it's not a problem. They love you and they're like, they want to do more raw. But I know that like what I saw on some of the posts on your social media is like, but I'm 100% raw. And, so how do we address to the folks that, they should still I would just still take it just to have you, because it's not like I see you doing a lot of cooking classes in places.
Exactly. Yeah. I'd love to do more cooking stuff or uncooking. So
a culinary class.
Yeah, we all know what we mean, right?
The culinary class.
Culinary classes in the future. But this is like one of the first ones that I'm doing that are like full meals and one-on-one kind of guidance, that kind of like group one-on-one style. And I think that even if you aren't eating cooked foods, you can still learn so many techniques, because even though Nate and I don't eat cooked food, sometimes when Nate's kids come over, we need stuff to make for them because they don't eat a lot of raw. Like they will eat raw, but we like to make them cooked vegan stuff. They're vegan. So why not have more ideas under your belt so that you can make them for other people? So at least you're not serving animal products or high fat, oily, all that kind of stuff to your loved ones. You can learn techniques. And again, like you said, even if you're not eating the cooked food, at least come to learn some of the raw stuff. Because I'm going to teach certain techniques, like how to do the dehydrator tortillas and how to wet chop. So there's some things that I'm going to teach in there as well. So it's very beneficial.
And at least 4 of my 6 recipes that even though I'm not presenting them as raw, they could be raw, and I will be able to share that with the people when I'm doing it. Here's a question from Gabriella. It is very difficult to be vegan when your rest of your family is not, and you have to cook for both. Any advice? Well, I have my opinion. I'll let Lissa go first. But again, I'm a disagreeable person and I would never cook animal products. I would make, I said, I'm going to let you go first, and then here I am talking. But what I would do is I would make one healthy meal, and if they wanted something that wasn't in the meal, they are welcome to go get it themselves with their own car and their own money, and they have to cook it themselves. So that's what I would do. But what would you say?
I'm on the same page as you. I had a relationship with somebody before I met Nate, and he wasn't vegan. I would happily make him cooked vegan stuff. Like I'd make him these like black bean oat burgers, and I made him stir fries and all kinds of stuff. But I would not make animal products. And that's just me. And that was laid out right at the beginning of our relationship. I was like, there is no way you're going to get me to make you anything with an animal product in it. I don't want it in my fridge when he would come over. So we had that understanding at the beginning, but it's really about communication, and you have to have that deep conversation and listen to their side as well, and come to a compromise, whatever that is comfortable for you. But yeah, I'm on the same page as you. I can't, no, I will make all the cooked vegan stuff for people. I'm totally fine with that. And I just won't do the animal products, but It's a tough one.
It is. So let me go to the website and I'll show people you built them. Actually, I was going to say you look like you're wearing the same outfit, but not. You're wearing a sweater. You must love rainbow, because it's I thought, oh, she's wearing the same thing in the picture. Just kidding, of course. So let me get this. Tell me if you can. Well, I don't know if guys.
There we go.
Okay, You can see it. Oh, perfect. Okay, so I can see it. Oh, yes. So here it is, guys. Here's the website, and you can just get an idea what this class is. It's, people always like, is it going to happen another time? Well, we can't guarantee it because it hasn't happened once, but even if you can't make it, everything is recorded. You get all the recipes, and you will have a wonderful time. So this is the class. It's called Make It Raw, Make It Cook with Chef AJ. That's me and Lissa of Raw Food Romance. And we'll just kind of scroll up. You can see it's 4 weeks. The class is 4 weeks long. Each class is at least 3 hours. This is one of the recipes we're making. Well, we're both making our version of stuffed mushrooms, and I have actually two. One is low fat, one is high fat. All recipes are, of course, vegan, oil-free, refined, sugar-free. There is no salt. There might be small amounts of optional miso in some of the recipes. So we're going to do full meals, entrees, side dishes, and desserts. So everything I made cooked. Lissa made her own raw version of it. And the first week and the third week of the 4-week class, we actually make the recipes for you, both of us. But the really fun part for you guys is the even number weeks, 2 and 4, you come back and you make as many recipes as you want. We can watch you so we can really see your technique and give you pointers. And this is how you grow and increase your kitchen fitness. So the first week, it's going to be Italian inspired meals. And Lissa's going to make her meatballs with cruciferous Caesar salad, walnut pesto, stuffed mushrooms, and the raw version of my German chocolate cake, which is German cakelet. And you can see how beautiful and enticing and delicious her food looks. Mine doesn't look as good as hers, but I promised you it tastes good. And this is one of my favorite company meals. It's new. It is an artichoke polenta bake. It actually tastes like pizza. The world famous German chocolate cake, which I've never demonstrated in the class, or the polenta bake, which only I've demonstrated for the McDougall program, which, very few people take, not very few, but, maybe 50 every other month. And then the stuffed mushrooms. And then week 3 and 4, we're going to move on to Mexican. And Lissa's going to uncook an enchanted enchilada with her cheese sauce. Oh my God, if I could only eat her food, I'd be raw. Her version of Spanish rice and a coconut berry parfait. And I'm going to make my all-time favorite meal right now. This is the lazy potato and kale green enchilada right here. It's so good, and it's so easy because I'm not rolling each one. A ridiculously easy Spanish rice, which we eat probably 3 times a week as tostadas. You could do burritos, in a brand new recipe called Paradise Peanut Butter Mousse Parfait, which of course you could do with another nut butter like almond butter, or if you like to use PB2 to make it low fat, you could. So we're offering a $100 discount on this course if you sign up by 3/17. And here's what others have said about our courses. You can see Neil Barnard has a nice comment here. Angelica Govert and Tammy Kramer. So here's a few more pictures of the recipes. You'll get a PDF, of course, of all the recipes, downloads, including shopping lists for each recipe, of course. And even though you're not cooking along with us, because that makes the class really slow and difficult, you can ask us questions the whole time in real time, because we are able to multitask and cook and uncook and answer your questions. So it starts March 18th. It goes to April 8th. And we use Zoom, so you will have to, if you want to be seen. I know there are people that take the class that don't ever turn their camera on, and that's okay too. So that's that. We'd love to have you in the class. If you have any questions in general or specifically about the class, please post them in the chat, and we're happy to answer you. Do you get a certificate? Well, we could make one for you, but we don't. It's not like a certification program like the T. Colin Campbell plant-based nutrition course, if that's what you mean. But we'd be happy to sign something or write something that say you're in the class, if that would be helpful to you. Alyssa says all the meals sound delicious. They are. Because I only like to cook things that I really eat over and over, because then you're getting the best of the best.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. When we have like a favorite, like that cruciferous Caesar salad, I've been eating that so much lately since I created it. It's just been so delicious. And obviously the enchiladas are super fun, and they take a little technique, but that's why we help you out, because sometimes you need a little help there when you're working on stuff, especially raw food. Raw food can be a little challenging. So people might have questions, and you can always make whatever recipe that you want out of all the recipes that we make. Like if you only want to make one of the chocolate cakes, you can do that. If you only want to make the salad, you can do that too. If you want to make them all, you're more than welcome. So it's really up to you which ones that resonate with you. And then you can grab all the ingredients from the shopping list. And then on the next week, have some fun in the kitchen making stuff.
Yeah. And so on the interactive part where the people are cooking, let's say we haven't done this together yet. A lot of times there's dead silence. It's just because people are cooking and they only talk when they have a question, and then we spotlight them or they raise their hand on Zoom. And so what I was thinking of doing, which I think would be enormously valuable to the audience, is to kind of pick your brain on what your process is, like how you convert, like, okay, so you saw this recipe, that would help people, I think. And so I'll be interviewing her quite a bit. And Stephanie says, after the sign up and class is done, is there access to it back afterwards? Yes. I mean, technically you own it for life. The thing is, here's the thing, guys, if you don't download stuff, you can't hold us accountable like in 10 years. I mean, that happens. Like, where is it? I don't know. Websites change, but anything you download is yours for life. And I like to say it's yours for my life or as long as I'm in business. But I mean, I can guarantee it's at least 3 years because that's how long we've paid for Kajabi. But realistically, you own it forever, So the time of the day of the class, we decided usually I do 2 to 5, but we realize there's people in certain countries like Israel, especially Israel, that has a lot of raw foodists that can't do that time because it's too late. So we're trying morning classes, 9 a.m. to noon. And that should work for most people because, I mean, if you're Seventh-day Adventist or Jewish, of course, that's your Sabbath. But there's no church at that time for most faiths. And it doesn't feed into your evening if you wanted to go out. So Gabriella says, is there one meal recipe that has the most of the nutrients you need in a day? I don't follow nutrient density at all. I don't want to say I don't believe in it, but it's never been a priority to me, especially after seeing Dr. Lyle's video, Stop Your Nutrient Obsession. But Lissa is really into that, and she can answer that.
Yeah, so for my recipes for this class, I'm specifically making them for the enjoyment of the food, right? It's not meant to be like, this is, exactly what you need for the entire day. It's more for food enjoyment. This is supposed to be fun and you get to learn some new techniques. Obviously, you're getting nutrition from all of the recipes that you would make from our classes. And really, it's up to you to make sure that you're getting a wide variety of stuff in your day. Obviously, eating raw foods. And if you still eat cooked food, cooked food too. It all has nutrition in it. It's more about eating a wide variety of foods and exploring different recipes and eating enough calories for optimize your calories so that you're eating enough to get enough and not to worry too much about the little things, especially in this class. This class is supposed to be fun.
It's going to be like more gourmet, Yeah. Otherwise you could just eat a salad.
Exactly. Yeah. This one, like we said, is supposed to be more fun and sharing some techniques and some new recipes as well. Like the meatballs, the Caesar, the enchiladas, and the parfait are all new recipes of mine that I created just for this course, actually. Yeah. So yeah.
And the mine completely new recipes. I created the peanut butter paradise parfait just for this course, and the artichoke polenta bake and the lazy green enchiladas were created for the McDougall program, which, like I say, even if they get 50 people every other month, that was the only way to get the recipes. So you're getting a lot of new recipes and 2 passionate, talented chefs if you take it. And we hope that you will, because it's going to be really fun. Been posting a link to the website. And if you're on my mailing list or Lissa's, you probably already got an announcement. We have been posting some pictures on social media, but we hope you'll try the interactive experience, because if you want to get better, you got to do it, not just watch it. Kathy's saying she wants to check out your stuff from the bundle. Absolutely. And Jimmy says, Jimmy James Oliver, that's a cool name. Lissa is a gem, AJ2. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
This is the sweet one. That's because she eats a lot of fruit. Yeah.
I do eat a lot of fruit. Yes.
Oh, that's funny. What's your favorite fruit? Do you have a favorite fruit?
I do. Top out of all the fruits, it really depends. Nectarines would definitely top the list if it's a really good nectarine. Otherwise, mangoes are right up there. But lately, I've been really enjoying egg fruit. whenever we go to LA, we'll go to this exotic fruit market in Westminster, and sometimes they have egg fruit, and I've just been like loving the egg fruit. So that's a more unique kind of.
And is that the same as Canistel?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that tastes like sweet potato pie, I think.
Yep. It's like birthday cake sweet potato. It's
That's
so
really
cool.
good. That almost seemed more starchy to me than like a fruit, you know?
Yeah, it seems that way. It's like it's cakey.
No, it was really good. It was really, somebody actually sent me one from Florida. I haven't seen it up here. And wait, have I seen it in Sacramento? I can't remember. Maybe I'm so confused. I've been moving so much lately that I don't remember what I've seen where, but it is delicious. I like watermelon, but not my own. There's this guy named Ben, who's Esther Loveridge's husband. She's been on my channel a lot. She's a lady that she won her life back. She lost 140 pounds. And this guy knows how to pick watermelon. He brings it already cut up. And I think any fruit that's good is my favorite, because I'd rather eat something good than my favorite fruit if it wasn't in season or ripe, you know?
I completely agree. Like nectarines are by far my favorite. Like if I had to choose, but if it's not a good nectarine, it's like last on the list. I don't really enjoy it as much, but if it's a good nectarine, it's top favorite. And mangoes too.
You know, I wish you could give me some banana advice, because it's not that bananas are my favorite fruit, but what I like about bananas is they're really filling. Like I like fruit, but if I eat apple, orange, watermelon, it's mostly water and I'm hungry. But like I don't usually eat between meals, but if I have to, like that, like a banana is like to the rescue, because they're very satiating. I'll even eat 2 of them. But I find the window of the perfection is very small, and I don't like them too green. I don't like them super sweet, like when I was a sugar addict. For those, I'll freeze or use for desserts. But it's almost like you got this 12-hour window to eat it, and it's like, oh, it drives me crazy, because I would like to eat more bananas, but it's like too late, too soon. What do you do?
It's that's such a good question, and I wish I had an answer for you. I feel like, honestly, like I have a favorite spot too when I really like them. But Nate and I, whenever we go shopping like maybe 2 times a week, maybe 3. And most of the times when we go shopping, we buy a bunch of bananas, or 2 or 3, depending on how many we need. But we always have them in kind of like a rotation. So we've got some really green ones. We've got some greenish yellow. We've got some that are getting spotty. We've got some perfect ones. And then we have the really ripe ones that we end up freezing for an ice cream and stuff. So we kind of have like a range of them. So every day or 2, there's like some really good ones. But yeah, I don't know. It's hit and miss.
Yeah, I wish there was like somebody out there with the banana secret, you know?
Right.
Oh.
Another thing too is if you put your banana, like if you want them to ripen faster, put them with like apples, or like in a paper bag with apples, and then they'll ripen a little faster. So if you're like looking for them the next day, but again, you really only have, for your perfect amount, but then everyone likes them at different stages too. So
Jimmy James Oliver, I love your name, by the way. I would call you JJ Oliver. I love it. Says you can slow the ripeness by making them colder and speed the ripening by keeping them warmer. That's interesting to know. And let's see, I saw a very nice comment from Tina, the 2 vegan queens in one place. Thank you so much. And so Jimmy is saying, is the egg fruit like mamey?
It's got a different texture, but it is kind of like mamey. Mamey is more like silky of a creamy. Egg fruit is more of like a cakey, more sticky kind of texture. But they do kind of have a similar texture, but yeah. I would say mamey is more like sugary, creamy, and silkier. But that's just my way of describing it.
Maria's watching all the way from the Philippines.
Ooh, hello.
Yeah, nice. Well, what's also nice about these classes? I mean, there are certain countries that we won't get to watch live, because we're doing it in the morning. But I remember we did an afternoon, we had people from Asia, we had people from Australia, so it's kind of fun. And like I said, if you can't make it live, you'll get the recording within probably, like, it's a 3-hour class, so it does take about an hour to download, but we try to get it out to you either, well, actually, since it's morning class, we'll be able to get it out to you that day.
Exactly, so you can watch it after. And also, after you attend the class, then the PDF will be available to download in the class. Like when you log in to watch the videos and stuff, the PDF will be available after the class. So come to class to watch how we do it, and then you'll get the recipes and the shopping list so you can prepare for the next week when you are the star of the show.
Yeah, that's really fun when people, and that's when people, I got to tell you guys, I mean, I can't speak for the students. I mean, I should have probably gotten some, it would have been smart. We got testimonials on the website, but it would have been smart to get some of the students, because what they really liked about the class wasn't just the community aspect, but people interpret recipes differently. And so while I was teaching the class, they were creating new recipes from my recipes. And one thing got created, I'm not going to say because it's like show stopping, it's going to be in my next book, but somebody had this idea, sort of like that commercial where they say, you got peanut butter on my chocolate, you got chocolate on my peanut butter. So using my recipes, people configured it in a different way, and it was mind blowing. And so we had a lot of that creativity going. And even in this class I taught, which was cooked, people were doing the recipes raw. It was incredible. And so, yeah, this should be really fun. And like I said, we don't see you on the odd number weeks, week 1 and 3, because we're cooking, but you can still answer questions. We use something called webinar, Zoom webinar. So you can type, and then we have my Katie, who's very nice. She's monitoring the chat. And then as soon as she sees, like, well, at least, that I'm not like talking, she'll say, okay, so-and-so has this question. So we're able to answer your questions about what we're doing in real time, Stephanie says she sees a crutch behind you. Is that for you or Nate?
A crutch? Is it? This is a chair.
Okay.
Maybe chair. Yeah.
maybe it looked like a crutch. Okay.
Yeah.
Good eye, Stephanie. Cheryl says, I placed a nearly ripe avocado in the refrigerator to slow the ripening. This is working, but I need it to ripen completely. How can this be done?
I would do the same. I would put it in a bag with an apple, because sometimes the gases, or even a ripe banana as well, just in a paper bag and in a warm spot. So, but it's not guaranteed that it's going to ripen in X amount of time, especially coming out of the fridge. Sometimes it stalls the ripening process. So experiment with it. And one thing that I really like to do with avocados is when they're at that absolute perfect ripeness, cut it up and freeze it if you can't use it. Because when you thaw the avocado, even chunks, like it's almost like it wasn't even like you just cut it. So
yeah. Well, what's really cool, one of the things I learned from both you and Chris Kendall, and that's the thing, your raw people should come, because there's stuff to learn. They shouldn't be so tunnel vision, like, oh, because she cooks her food, I can't learn anything. Not true. Because I got some cool machines, like not machines, but cheap little tools that they might not have heard of, that like they can make like salsas and things. But what was I going to say? The freezing technique of the cauliflower. So I made a mistake with this recipe. I make a chorizo filling out of cauliflower, onion, and mushroom. It's in my book, The Secrets to Ultimate Weight Loss. And I was making it for a large crowd, but I misread the recipe. I didn't do the math right. And so I had 20 ounces, which is more than a pound, of mushrooms that I had already grated, chopped real fine in the food processor. And I couldn't use it. And I mean, because if they were whole, I could have used them. Like, what am I going to do? So I froze them, and it was great. I took them out, and it worked like perfectly in the recipe. If anything, it made it better. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. Yeah, the freezing technique is next level for texture in raw foods. We won't be doing any freezing for this class, but we can definitely talk about it. And that's another thing that's really great about coming to the class, is that you guys can ask us any food prep questions at all. Like if you want to know about the freezing technique, if you want to know about the dehydrator or whatever, we are happy to answer your questions, because that's what we're here for. We're here to help give you tips and tricks so that you can make healthier food easier.
Yep. And specifically some delicious recipes in time for both Easter and Mother's Day, because I could see any of these recipes being the entree at any of those celebratory meals.
Especially the cakes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, baby. I've heard that if you put an apple in a brown paper bag with a banana, the banana will ripen faster.
Yeah.
That's true.
Sure does. Sure does. Yep. There's some kind of gas that comes off the ripening apple, or the ripe apple, and then that affects the banana. It really does ripen quite quickly.
It was really cool in the last interactive class. There were two people that were both from Australia, and they actually lived near each other, and they didn't know each other, and they connected. I anticipate a lot of that happening.
I love that so much. It's so good to have community. And like we were mentioning earlier, you can meet some really great new friends by coming and just being interactive. That's another key too. Like, be interactive, ask questions, chat with each other in the chat, and like really enjoy the experience, because it's 3 hours at least, right? Like, maybe it goes a little.
Yeah, we're gonna when they cook, we're gonna keep it to 3 hours, because we don't want to tire them out. If we have to go over just to get the recipe one done, we will, but we can promise you at least 3 hours. So that's like 12 hours of instructions. So
yeah,
be able to get a lot accomplished. And some people did like one recipe a week, and some people literally did all of them, and they would practice, sometimes during the week, and then they would report back to us like what worked, what didn't, and then we can help you. So it's like when people I've written books, and they would write me like, why didn't it turn out? And I'm like, I don't know. Can you show me? And, so this is why it's so cool. I think the interactive format, I always say, you don't get better at playing tennis just by watching it on TV. You got to do it.
You got to do it. Yep.
Yeah. Ooh, we got Alaska in the house. Hello, Carrie. We got some nice countries here today. Well, not that Alaska. Well, actually, in a way, it almost should be its own country. It's out on its own. All right. Well, I look forward to doing this with you. It's going to be fun, I think. Lissa's my partner in the bundle, and there's many bundles, and she's in different bundles, and so am I, but we do a bundle together every year. So make sure you get on one of our mailing lists, if not both, because we can't tell you all the people that write us afterwards. We promoted the heck out of it for 10 days, 5 times a day on this channel, and people are like, I missed it. And I'm like, where the heck have you been?
Yeah, and like you said, there are other bundles coming, and gotta be on the email list. Open the emails, read them, and we try to give you a lot of value in the emails so that you can learn as well. So keep opening the emails and see when the next cool bundle is coming. But yeah, it's sad because we take the bundle down after, and people can't buy it. So we can only do it for 10 days because it takes like 6 months to actually build the bundle. So
people only knew. People think like there's no effort in anything we do. There is a lot of effort and
a lot of work.
We sometimes have to charge for what we do, but we try to do a lot of value for free. And Apple's looking forward to the raw vegan bundle. It's her favorite bundle. And Lissa says, I think these recipes sound decadent. Show off for when you have company. Yeah, because I think if Lissa and I just did a class based on what we really eat, it would. I wouldn't say it's boring, but I don't know if we could really charge for it, because I steam broccoli and I roast a potato. That's lunch every day for 12 years. So dinners, you throw it in the Instant Pot. Lissa might take a little bit more inventive than me, but
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, we want to make the recipes like more for company to show off, or for special occasions too, like someone's birthday or your birthday or whatever. Or even if you just want to explore new flavors and you want to get out of your rut, like if you are making the same thing every day and you want to try some new stuff, like this is a great place to come and learn as well. But like you said, Nate and I have been making this like tahini dill salad like every single night for the last like week or so, just because it's just so easy. We love it. We know we're going to eat it. So yeah.
So, I'm not just saying this to get you to enroll, but it will sell out because it has to, because with interaction, it has to be limited spaces. So if you're interested, here's the link, check it out. We'd love to have you in class. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It really is. I'm super excited to see who comes and who joins in, make some new friends.
We could do little polls, and who knows, more people might become raw because of it. You never know, or eat more. We're not trying to get anybody to be raw. I'm
Yeah.
not, but it's always good to eat more raw food. And you will be on the show with Nate next week at the regular time of 11 a.m. talking about how to stay raw and eat healthily while you travel, as well as introducing us to a food, not dehydrator. What's it called?
It's called a freeze dryer.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's a big machine.
Yeah. So we're going to be doing that class in our office with our freeze dryer. So we're going to show like different kinds of foods that you can freeze dry. We're going to talk about traveling. We have a cooler that we just got, so we'll probably show that as well, and just talk about how we do it traveling. Like we're leaving tomorrow actually to go on a 6-day trip, and we have been blending dressings and preparing our food and getting ready for that trip. So we will be back fresh from our trip for this class. So we'll be able to share what we did and how it went and all that stuff. It's going to be a really fun class.
Nice. Well, thank you so much, Lissa, and thanks for doing this class with me. It's going to be a lot of fun, even if we're the only two, but we know we're not because lots of people have already signed up.
Yes, I am so excited. Thank you, Chef AJ, and I hope you have a delicious dinner tonight.
Thank you. And thanks all of you for watching another episode of Chef AJ Live. You're welcome, Alyssa. And we hope to see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time for Janie Goddard, who is going to teach you how